Chapter 36. Once she was finally allowed to go back to work, Alex jumped in with both feet. But she didn't want Matt to feel like she'd abandoned him. Besides, she'd gotten used to having him nearby. She solved both problems by inviting him to go with her. "If you come along, you can make sure I'm not overdoing it. You can help with the chores and be sure I'm not hurting myself or setting back my recovery." It hadn't taken her long to figure out just which buttons to push to get her way. He looked at her a moment with narrowed eyes. "All right." He shook his head, as if unsure how she'd talked him into it. "Fair warning though, I haven't been on the back of a horse in years." "Well, that's better than I thought. I didn't know you knew how to ride." "I didn't say I do, just that I haven't tried in years." "No worries. Either way, we've got a horse or two you can ride." "I thought it was just you and your dad. You keep more than 2 horses?" "Yeah, we keep a few extra, in case our usual mount is unavailable for some reason, or we have someone riding with us. Anyway, you won't have to worry about them panicking from our predator scent either. All of ours are well accustomed to it, even the friskier ones." "Who rides those?" "I do sometimes." She paused, watching him frown at that. Raven is better on uneven ground than Honey, but he's temperamental. Temperamental? Yeah, he's not real fond of having someone on his back. If you don't watch him, he likes to walk under low branches and try to scrape you off. Matt chuckled. "That's not too bad." "No. None of our mounts are very wild. They wouldn't do us any good if they were. We don't break horses like Bobby does. Ours have to be functional ranch horses or they don't last long." Knowing that makes me feel better. He pulled her closer from where she sat beside him on the couch. They'd been watching a little TV after dinner, waiting for the news to come on. "I won't have to worry about you getting thrown from a skittish mount." There's always a risk of getting thrown when you're dealing with horses. You never know if a snake is going to startle it, or if it will step in a hole. "Yeah, I know, but well-trained horses reduce that risk." "If you say so." She laid her head against his chest and inhaled his familiar scent, while listening to his heartbeat. "I do say so." He kissed the top of her head. "How early do we need to get up in the morning?" "Well, Dad gets to the barn at about 6, I'd like to beat him." "Do you usually get there first?" "Not as often as I'd like, to tell the truth. My bed gets really clingy on those really cold mornings, and I have a hard time leaving it." "I do, I just don't like it." "You realize it's not going to be any easier tomorrow, for different reasons." She looked up at him. "And what reasons are those?" "Well, to start with, you've been sleeping late for a week. That morning alarm will come awfully early." "And?" She knew there had to be more. "Well." He gave her a half smile. "It's even harder to leave a warm bed with someone else in it." She let a sly grin spread across her face. "Why do you think I talked you into going with me tomorrow?" "I should have known that you had ulterior motives." "Oh, so now wanting to spend the day with my man and showing him my life is ulterior motives?" She did her best to act offended by the comment, but she couldn't keep it up, and after just a few seconds cracked up laughing. "You almost had me." Matt shook his head and grinned. "Come on." He stood and pulled her to her feet. "If we're gonna beat your dad to the barn and get any sleep tonight, we need to hit the sack." He tugged at her hand as he headed up the stairs to the bedroom. She went along willing. She had plans of her own up there.